104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Joining us live from Rio. He's working as part of the NBC Sports team this summer. Bobby Trosset joins us. Bobby, what have you been doing in Rio all summer?
Levack, I'm just so happy to be here. There's such a buzz in this city, and for an Olympic Games that has gotten so much bad press for the most part, it really has gone pretty much, really smoothly here, and it's just exciting to be here. We're on Copacabana Beach with the Today Show and doing a little bit with NBC Sports as well, and I really can't speak to the pride that this city has on a daily basis, and I can't believe closing ceremonies is coming up this weekend.
Wait a minute. You said it's going smoothly, but Ryan Lochte and a bunch of swimmers were held up at gunpoint, allegedly.
Well, right, allegedly, and that's the key word. And you know what? Matt Lauer just went on last night to make sure this was breaking news, and that was that now Lochte is sticking by his word, and apparently he's claiming that nothing happened at this point. So it's kind of strange how that all worked out. Apparently he was seen going through security after his night out with a watch on that was apparently stolen. So I think you got to look out in the next 24 hours or so to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, apparently those the couple of the swimmers that were with him got on a plane and were pulled off by Brazilian authorities. What is their status right now?
It's really strange. A lot of these guys are actually headed back to the U.S. So I know Phelps is already back. He posted on Instagram that he's back with Boomer in the pool. So I think they're actually headed back to the States. So a lot of confusion, a lot of different reports. So I'm hoping that it all gets cleared up in the next day or so.
Bobby Trosset joins us live from Rio. He's part of the NBC Sports team covering the Olympics this summer. Bobby, what is the overall reception of the American people, the American athlete, been in Rio?
Levack, it's amazing. I'm walking around the city of Rio, whether it be during work or after, and everyone greets us with this just open arms. They're so happy to see us. Obviously I'm not an American athlete, so I can't speak for them. But just imagine if Draymond Green and KD are walking through the city, the reception that they're getting is just phenomenal. They're so, for the first Olympic Games in this continent, it's just amazing. It really is so special to be part of, and they're beaming with pride. I can't say it enough.
So a lot of the misconceptions that we believed here that we weren't going to be welcome and that the crime is through the roof, it's not nearly as bad as we were led to believe?
Listen, I can't sit on here and tell you that everything's went perfectly and I felt safe the entire time. But you know what? I would say over 90% of the time I've felt perfectly fine. I've met incredible Brazilians who, again, have so much pride in their home city. And I tell you what, I'm sure you've seen on the NBC coverage and other coverages as well, this city is just absolutely miraculous. I mean, Christ the Redeemer, Sugarloaf Mountain. We're right on, like I said, we're right on Copacabana Beach. Our set is right on the beach. I mean, I can't think of a better spot to be for an Olympic Games.
So I guess everything we hear about Brazilian bikinis is true.
Hey, I can't confirm or deny that.
Bobby Trosset, he's part of the NBC Sports team. He's joining us right now at 104.5 The Team, Levack and Wolf. Bobby, now, the one thing that we heard a lot about was, bacteria, mosquitoes. You were supposed to join us last week and got sick. Are you okay now, and would you attribute your illness to the conditions in Rio?
It's a good point, and it's something to be legitimately concerned about. I would say that with all the reports coming out about this city and the issues surrounding it, the water is probably the most, and again, it depends on the part, it's probably the most legitimate out of all those concerns. I was out the majority of last week with an unknown virus. There were some stomach issues. There was some dehydration. And it is very hot here. It is, for those who don't know, it is winter in Rio de Janeiro. So I don't exactly know what caused it to happen, but I have tested out the waters on Copacabana, and I have eaten out very often here in the area. So it was tough. I missed work. It was really tough because you're here at the pinnacle of sport, they call it, and it was a great opportunity to be here, and it was tough. But you can't live in fear, So when I get back in the water tomorrow, I might think about it and maybe have a caipirinha or two on the beach and then get in there. But it's tough.
I was watching a little video of the sailing competition, the one person boats, and as they're sailing, they're in the water, and there's no way not to get wet. But one of the most amusing things about it, I don't know if you saw this, it's been all over YouTube, was the British commentators that got completely lost during the race. Do you know the story I'm referring to?
I am.
Yeah, they didn't know the start, the finish, where was what. Did you see that competition?
I just saw it on Twitter and all the tweets that were surrounding that. But it's surprising. You know what it reminds me of, and I'm sure you saw this. How about the CBC the night of the rivalry race?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I mean, that was a big, huge issue. So, yeah, what do you make of that?
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, it's funny that, the Olympics, we always have some kind of little issues, stuff like that happens. Broadcasters make mistakes, something happens. But we were so ready for this one to be an absolute mess that it's kind of, I guess it's nice that it's not as bad as we thought it was, but it's also embarrassing to me that it's one of our stars that's making the biggest problem in Rio with Ryan Lochte.
Right. It is embarrassing. And you know what? I'm referred to as a runner for NBC. So, we're helping out with technical support. We're helping out with athlete transportation to and from sets. Pretty much all things to help out the talent or behind the scenes. And what I've been lucky enough to do is get close with the Brazilians that are on our team, the local Brazilians here from Rio. And I can't tell you how upset they are about this story with Lochte because it makes their city look unsafe. It makes their city look exactly like the way it's being painted. And although there might be some areas like that, and there definitely are, I'm not denying that, it's just upsetting because if this comes out in the next 24 hours or so that Lochte is lying, it's upsetting because will it get back to everyone that it's not true who then went and made that decision in their mind that this place is unsafe,
Bobby Trosset, he's covering the Olympics for NBC. He's helping out. He's part of that sports team down there. Nice enough to give us a call. Bobby, moving forward, what are you most excited about? What's still left that you really want to check out?
Boy, I've done Christ the Redeemer. I've done some incredible climbs. Pedra do Telegrafo, if you look that up, it's an incredible climb overlooking the city. Boy, the closing ceremonies is on Sunday. I don't know if I have a ticket yet. I'm going to do a little scheming here and there. I wasn't able to get the opening ceremonies, unfortunately. But I got to tell you, today was a pretty damn good day. The top five, the final five, they call themselves, came on set. And what incredible young women they are. Allie Raisman, Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Of course, have the big headline, but even Gabby Douglas. Obviously kind of taking a back seat to those two. Incredible women, young women. One of them is 16 years old. So some of the faces you meet around here is really quite fun. And some of them, it's their first Olympic Games. So even though I'm not an athlete, I feel where they are. They're competing and training 360 days a year, and it's just I'm going to hold this with me for a long time, and I hope it's not the final Olympic Games that I'll attend.
Well, if anybody's going to find their way into more of them, it's you, Bobby, because now, you were here with us. You helped us out, make sure that everything worked behind the scenes here, and now doing the same for NBC. If you want to see the adventures of Bobby Trosset in Rio, follow him on Twitter, @BobTrosset. Bobby, thanks for your time, man. We really appreciate you. Now, don't get sick again.
Hey, Levack, listen, I got a couple more days to go. All right, I can't promise you that I'm not going to go in this beautiful water, and I certainly can't promise you that once the Olympics end, that I'm not going to go out with the Brazilian boys that I've gotten in touch with. All right.
You know what? If you don't go out with them and meet Brazilian women, I'm going to think less of you.
Listen, I'm going to be back in 5 or 6 days. I might have to stop in there and tune you guys up, especially the big boss, Zach Vi.
Oh, well, don't call him the boss. He already thinks he's in charge.
Yeah.
Bobby,
Well,
thanks, man.
Thanks a lot for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Bobby.